Hi, it's Rob. Welcome to another video. So we've got there. I've been talking about this video for a while. My 200th video, 6.5 years in the vinyl community, making videos on YouTube, and I'm enjoying it more than ever. I've done about 22, 23 videos this year, which is a lot for me. So yeah, I'm really enjoying putting content out at the moment. And I was asking people in the comments what ideas for my 200th video. I got quite a lot good responses that I'll probably do videos for in the future. But one that cropped up a couple of times were showing some of my favourite 12-inch singles. So what I've decided to do is I've narrowed it down to 30 from Manchester. So various artists, multiple 12 inches by certain artists. Mainly, I think 12-inch singles that I've never shown on my channel before. I mean, on my last video I showed What the World Is Waiting For and Fool's Gold. So that's one out of the way. But most of these I've never shown before. At the end of the video, I am going to do a little bit of I'm going to talk about a few people in the vinyl community. I'm not sure how long it's going to go on for. I mean, before I start showing the 12-inch singles, I was just sitting down and I wrote names down of people that just came into my head, and that's look at that. It was about 70 odd names, and then when I was driving home from work, I thought of about 4 or 5 like dead obvious people. So there's no way I can name everybody on that list, but I'll name a few people because this has been a really, really great journey and I want it to continue. So let's show some records. So one of my favourite bands from Manchester over the last 5 years, I've really been getting into the Fall. So Fall 12-inch singles tend to be about a tenner, which is, I don't mind paying a tenner for a 12-inch single. I think I bought my first ever 12-inch single in 1982. I think it was the Jam. Just Do Is the 5 O'Clock Hero. I think that was the first. And I've probably got between 400 and 500 12-inch singles. So, and I've got quite a few from bands from Manchester. So I wanted to show this Cruisers Creek. And of course with 12-inch singles, one of the plus points has always been you'd get bonus tracks that wouldn't appear on albums. And this one's got a couple of tracks, Vixen and LA. So on some of these, I'll show you the label. This is just a pretty boring Beggar's Banquet. But yeah, I've got a few Fall 12 inches that I wanted to show. I've got another one here, 15 Ways. I think this one's from, is this from 94, I think? So a little bit later. 15 Ways, Hey Student, and the 500 Bottle of Wine. I know that particularly in Europe and in America, a lot of these 12-inch singles you wouldn't have seen before, so I will show the labels because they are quite interesting. But yeah, the Fall, so many records have released over the years. As I say, in the 80s and even in the 90s, the Fall were never really for me. It's only over, probably since I've had my channel, I've sort of fallen in love with the Fall. And I'm not sure where I'd rank them as my favourite Manchester bands, but they'd be a lot higher than they would have been sort of in the 90s. I do have a lot of 12 inches by New Order. This is a pretty boring cover, State of the Nation from the mid-90s, around about the Brotherhood period. And of course, sort of one of the most famous 12-inch singles was by New Order. Only ever released on 12-inch, and that is, of course, Blue Monday. I do have Blue Monday on 12-inch, but it's not like an original one, so I would like to have an original one. I should really have one, shouldn't I? I did used to have a lot of Stone Roses 12 inches, but they're at my son's. I never really got the Smiths 12 inches. I wish I had. I've got a few in my collection, which I've certainly got one here I'm going to show. So the Charlatans, we'll kind of class them as a Manchester band, even though they're from Northwich in Cheshire. I think Tim Burgess is actually from Manchester. So this is just when you thinking things over, Chemical Brothers remix. And this is on a pretty boring label. Another fall 12-inch here, telephone thing. I think this one's from 1990. The label on there is a little bit different. Another Charlatans Tremolo song. This one from, when's this from? Is it like 91 or something like that? So when I'm out and about buying, just looking out for records, 12-inch singles are something that I am always looking for. I think they represent pretty good value for money. Things like this tend to go for maybe £5 in the UK. So for me, that's a good deal. The first of a couple of Morrissey 12 inches, as you can see, that's got £6 on it. So Morrissey stuff used to be a little bit more expensive. Whether it's some of the shenanigans that have been going on over the last few years. This one's Last of the Famous International Playboys. For me, sounds like a Smiths song, and it's one of my favourite Morrissey 12 inches, and you can sing along to it. When I do karaoke, so this is just on a black Parlophone. So when I do karaoke now, one of the songs that I do sing is Panic. And I can do a decent job. I think it's quite an easy one to sing, but maybe I should develop my repertoire and do a Morrissey song in the future. So the Bodines from Glossop, which is probably about 10 miles outside Manchester. So the class is a Manchester band. And this is Teresa. They only released one album played. It's excellent, jangly guitars. If you ever see any Bodines records, I doubt whether you'll see any in America or in Europe. But their album played is certainly one of my favourite albums of the 1980s. A band that I know a lot of Americans have got a bit of time for are the Chameleons. So I don't actually have any Chameleon albums on vinyl, but I do have a few 12 inches. A person isn't safe anywhere these days. So when it comes to the Chameleons, they are from a place called Middleton, which is probably about 5 miles from Oldham, in between Oldham and Manchester. So again, the people say, oh, you're from Oldham, you're not classed as Manchester. Yeah, I kind of agree, but Oldham, where I'm from, is actually closer than where Morrissey comes from to Manchester. So, you know, is Morrissey from Manchester? Another fall, one of my favourites actually. This is one that I did like back in the day. Hit the North. So I think I might have paid maybe £5 or £6 for this one. I've had this one for quite a while. But I think this is, again, a pretty boring Beggar's Banquet. One of the few Smiths 12 inches that I have. So Smiths 12 inches, if you can get them for £20 or under, you've done well. The price of them is continuing to go up. This one, The Boy with a Thorn in His Side. The Smiths 12 inches though always had extra tracks. This one's got Rubber Ring and Asleep. And what have they got inside? They always used to have nice colour-coded sleeves as well. So yeah, The Boy with a Thorn in His Side. Is that off The Queen Is Dead? I should know, shouldn't I? I think it is, isn't it? So this is a 12-inch single that is signed. So I was at Record Fair. Tim Burgess was there signing some stuff, or he was at Stockport. So I actually bought this at the fair. Is it Jesus Weirdo? This? Oh yeah, Jesus Hairdo. And so I bought it for probably £5-6 and then took it over to Tim Burgess and he signed it, as you can see on there. I don't have that many records signed actually. It's not something I really bother about. I know there are people who do have a lot of signed records, merchandise, but it's never been for me. We've also got the Dust Brothers mix of the Track Patrol. Well, this is quite nice. The thing is about 12 inches, you'll get a 7-inch single, but then when it's on a 12-inch format, you know, it's quite striking. Another new order, so World in Motion remix, the England new order track from 1990, and again this is a little bit different. The remix on that, I would imagine that's one that maybe didn't make its way over to America. The Stone Roses 12-inch, one of the later ones, One Love, and Something's Burning on the flip side. So they all sort of had pretty distinctive design on the covers. And I'm trying to think what this is like. I've not played this for a few years. Yeah, this has got the green and the red. Another new order, True Faith, one of their biggest hits. And again, quite a plain label, which New Order tended to do. Another Chameleons 12-inch here, as high as you can go. So yeah, I know that in America I don't really tend to see many people showing 12-inch singles. If you've got a nice healthy 12-inch collection and you want to maybe do a little bit of a response, that'd be great. On the B side of this, we've got Pleasure and Pain and Paper Tigers. I do have quite a lot of Happy Mondays 12 inches. So here we have the track Sunshine and Love. So this is one of the later Happy Mondays singles. And that's the label. And James, a Manchester band who I always really liked, but I never saw them live, and they're always sort of performing all the time in Manchester. But I just never got round to seeing James. This is Lose Control on Fontana with the track Sunday Morning and Out to Get You on the flip side. And then a very sort of iconic Manchester. I spoke about this on a recent video. The people behind this, Central Station Designs, and this is definitely iconic. From '89, and the Hallelujah mix. It even goes onto the label. And another Happy Mondays, Freaky Dancing and The Egg. So yeah, I mean, out of my collection, I've probably got another 30 or 40 sort of Manchester related 12 inches, maybe even more than that. I remember buying this at the time, so this would have been 83, 84, something like that. Perfect Kiss by New Order. So it is embossed, but I did pay, I think it says £2.99 on there. That's the original price sticker that I paid, because this would have been one of the first 12 inches that I had in my collection. So I've looked after it pretty well. And a Manchester band that you don't hear that much about, probably second or third division, but pretty baggy, excellent. I think they only ever released one album, the Paris Angels. This one, Scope, from 1990. Paris Angels. Always looking for their stuff. As I say, there wasn't that much stuff actually released. And another Manchester band who, one of my favourites are Doves. So I picked this up quite recently. I think I only paid £1 or £2 for it. It's the track Push Me On. And I've got, I think I did a video where I showed all my Inspiral carpets, so I didn't want to drag too many of those out. But this is one of the sort of rarest ones with a purpose-built label on there. The Train Surfing EP. And another Morrissey, November Spawned a Monster. So my son was born in November, so he used to like Morrissey, but I think his politics have got in the way now. But I think this is just Parlophone again, yeah. It's just on a pink Parlophone. Only a few more to go. So one of the most iconic tracks out of Manchester is Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division. So I have got Atmosphere, I'm pretty sure, somewhere. That is one of my favourite 12 inches, but I just couldn't put my hands on it. Also, I've got a couple of Oasis 12 inches that I'm struggling to find. I've just recently moved my collection, so some things aren't quite where they should be. Northside, a Manchester band that I've got a lot of time for. I follow the singer Dermo on my Instagram, a real character. And this is Shall We Take a Trip from, I think this is 1990, produced by Ian Brody of Lightning Seeds fame. So yeah, this has always been a favourite of mine. I love the label on that one. And of course, this is my copy of Blue Monday, but it's not the original copy with all the shenanigans. It's a pretty basic, it's sort of a different issue. I would like to get one that's got all the folds and famously lost factory records, hundreds of thousands of pounds. And finally, looks like this is the last one. Peel Sessions, great 12 inches. And this one by the Inspiral Carpets is one of many Peel Sessions I've got in my collection. I know that a lot of people in the vinyl community like to pick these up, and this is one of my favourites. Containing 4 tracks: Out of Time, Directing Traffic, Keep the Circle Around, and Give Me Shelter. So I think you'll find that is 30 12-inch singles. So if you want to do, like I say, if you want to do some sort of response, 200 videos. For a lot of people, they'll do 200 videos in a couple of years, but it's took me a while. And in some cases, some years I've only done just over 20 videos. So as I say, this year I'm doing a lot more. I mean, probably enjoying it more than ever. So whenever you leave a comment on one of my videos, that means so much. And I'm really, there's so much importance on that. And I never ever take people for granted, because I know there's so many people just on YouTube alone doing the same kind of thing. Or I watch loads of content on YouTube, football related, and I just think YouTube's a wonderful thing, but it's a lot of competition. And when people take the time to watch one of my videos, I'm not going to say I feel honoured, or I really do thank everybody. And when someone like subscribes to my channel and watches my videos and comments and gives me a thumbs up, it does mean a lot, and it kind of spurs me on. And there are some people who comment on my videos who've got channels, but there's a lot of people who comment who don't have channels, and they'll comment on a lot of my videos, and you build up a friendship. I've been to record fairs and people have come up to me and said, you know, they enjoy my channel. You know, it's quite humbling when people do that. And I've been on VC meetups and met people that way. You know, I've met John Downing a number of times, a 6-inch pianist. I went over to Holland, had a great experience with David Atkinson and Gav Axman Spins, 2 great guys. There's some people that really mean a lot to me, and I mean, I might not mean a lot to them, but like the first person that ever got me into this was Ross Goodall, who's got a channel He's only youngish. He was only young when I started watching him. And I just, because I'm a Paul Weller fan, I just started watching his channel. I was just watching his ranking of Paul Weller. And then from there, that honestly took me down a rabbit hole and discovering other people who did what he did. And at the time I thought, oh, this is a bit weird. And then I started watching Steve Carlson. And then I started to comment to Steve Carlson. I owe Steve Carlson a lot because he really did encourage me. Steve Carlson did. And he said, oh, I've subscribed to you, even though I'd never done a video. And so then I took the plunge, and I've still got my first video on my channel. You know, it's a bit of a car crash, isn't it? When you're speaking to the camera for the first time, it does take a bit of time for you to sort of feel comfortable doing it. But you've got to do your first video. And I'd always say, there's people starting new channels all the time. And, you know, there's Midge's Gems in Sheffield. I think he's called Luke. He's called Luke. He's recently started a channel. And there's people starting channels all the time. And I always like to try and promote them on my channel if I can. Because I know when I started my channel, it takes time. And when people who have got channels promote you, it meant a lot to me. So I always want to do that and help people. Some people who have been on this, say like a journey, it's like, but like Rich McCook as well. So me and Richard started our channel at a similar time. And I love Richard, me. You know, everybody has got time for Richard McCook. And I'm like, I just love the guy. And you know, I've been doing videos the same amount of time as Richard. Richard's done far more videos than me. But like Richard, hope you're watching this, hope you got this far. But yeah, even though he's an Arsenal fan. And there's people like Martin, the Vinyl Scavenger. There's so many people that I could, like Carl Tweed, and there's I was driving, I'm thinking, what about Christian? So Christian, Vinyl Sanctuary, he's from the Manchester area, he's not far from me somewhere. And like Martin Harris and Harris Pilton and Gatefold 33 Dale, he's so witty, Dale, and I always enjoy watching his videos. And people like Steve Whitty, there's so many people. James Griffiths, he's one of the people I started watching, so I'm sure everyone knows James Griffiths. And I've watched so many of his videos when I started, because he had so many videos, and I couldn't get enough of him. I wouldn't say I was taking tips off him because his style's so different. The way he's so articulate, the way he speaks about music. Like, I'm nowhere near articulate when it comes to music, really. Everyone's different the way they do the channel, aren't they? I'm trying to think, I met Mazzy as well. So I met Mazzy, and he's just like you would imagine him to be. Really nice spending time with him. I'd like to meet him again. Hopefully I will. Who else is there? Vinyl Richie as well. He's someone who does support my channel. MGK Boston, Embryonic Robot, Beer and Vinyl, Nova Revolution, Rob, Chris, the Vinyl Man. Started doing some live streams with him. Mike Vinyl Spiral, Ben Rankins. You're under obligation. You've got to say them two together. It's going to be pretty boring this now, isn't it? Because it's like 25 minutes of me just mentioning channels and forgetting people. I was thinking like about Birch and Mike as well. Such a nice guy. There's so many nice people in the vinyl community. Yeah, Birch and Mike, when I watch his videos, I remember when he first started his channel, and I just thought, oh, I really like this guy, and he just shows really interesting stuff, but he's dead humble. He's just a really nice guy. Who else is there? There's so many people. Return to Vinyl, Simon as well, and Ranking the Obscure, Ian. I've had a few ding-dongs. I mean, I have a lot of ding-dongs with people, really. I've been around for a while, and, you know, when I go on live streams, I can be opinionated and I say some daft things sometimes. But if I say something daft, I'll apologise to people. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up. I mean, there's so many people that I've not mentioned. I'm in Rachel's Ghost as well, when Rachel was doing her thing. I used to go on there and Rachel gave me a lot of support, helped my channel. A lot of people didn't really like Rachel, but she always promoted people. And, you know, when you're trying to build your channel, I'm trying to build my channel, you know, I want to get as many subscribers as I can. And like I say, every time I get a subscriber, you know, it drives me to carry on doing this. So anyway, that's enough. I've missed millions of people out. Like I was good with Glenn Calloway and Robert on My Turntable and Randall Weaver as well. And Edwin, the Pretty Green Vinyl guy, can't forget him, can we? But yeah, there's just millions of people really that support my channel as well and leave me comments. On Martin Astad. I could just carry on saying people's names really. I should just carry on, shouldn't I really? Because I don't really want to miss anyone out. Where's my list? Well, I've got this list. You don't have to watch this video, you can switch off now, but I'll mention people because Lloyd Boone as well. I don't know if Lloyd's having problems with his channel again. Chris Rickard Talk, he's like turned into a Oldham Athletic fan. I'm glad I'm reading these now because I forgot about people. Sammy's World of Cinema. So I started showing some films that I pick up cheap and also CDs. Which when I first started my channel, I wasn't really comfortable showing CDs, but now I'm picking up so many CDs, and you know, I think the people are interested. I think people are buying as many people buying CDs as there are records. I'm trying to see whose names I've wrote down here now. Oh, Me Digger, You Viewer, that's Charlie. So I'm going to be, if you're watching this, I'm going to be on tour doing signings. I'm going to be in Leeds, so there's a few of us meeting in Leeds, so that'll be good. Rob Ison as well. Rob's been doing this for a few years. He drops in and out, but I love Rob as well. High District Rant, Tom. He's a good supporter of my channel. Britpop Buzz, is that his name? I always forget his name. He's called Tom or Jack or something like that. I think he's in Scunthorpe. He just shows CDs. And Paul, Zoo Animal on Wheels. I met him in London. Madam Sin as well. He wasn't in London, but he's crazy, isn't he? Oh, Nick's Final Buddy. So Nick, he started sending me records. He didn't even have a channel. And I've met Nick. I hope he's going to be in Leeds. I think he is. So, yeah, I love Nick. Everyone loves Nick, don't they? He's Vinyl Martini as well, Jack. Jack's such a nice guy as well. He's always posting, you know, stuff he's been picking up. And, yeah, I love watching Jack as well. And Headley, another fat bearded man. He's not as fat now, is he? He's put a bit more weight on. He's not as fat as he used to be. Ricefield Records, remember him? Michael. He's alright, Michael, isn't he? I thought I'd give him a shout out. Evans, the Music Man. Retro Musings. I don't know what she's called. She's just done her British citizenship exam. I mean, there's no way I'd pass that. Richard's Vinyl Tap House. Richard's always commenting on my videos, so thanks Richard. And also Elliot Cruz is a really nice guy. He's he don't really watch my channel, he won't be watching this, but I like Elliot. Mad for Vinyl Mark as well, he's always picking up cheap stuff. Stephen Schnee, the CD Junkie, so much knowledge Stephen's got. Yeah, I love Stephen. Bitbot Boom as well, John. Again, He goes on quite a lot of live streams with he does go on live. I like John, and also Alan, Static Traveller, comments on my videos occasionally, and Dave. Is he Summit Fidelity, isn't he? I've wrote something down here. I'm sorry, Dave. Summit Fidelity, aren't you? Oh, Catherine S as well. There's not many women, is there? I'm trying to think how many percentage of women watch my videos. I think it's like 1.2% of women, so it's not many, that is it? And about 50% are from the UK, mostly. And Hannah, remember Hannah, the All My Heart introvert? She doesn't do videos that often, but she's great. And John Bellamy, and Todd the Mod, and Brian, Tokyo, what's it called? Tokyo Records. I've wrote something down here, I forget. And Aldo Fidelius Frequency, Stevie's Vinyl Cupboard, Jimmy Barnes, even Jimmy Barnes. You gotta love Jimmy and Jason Roas. Those are the names I wrote down. I'm sorry that I'm putting you through this. I doubt anyone will be watching this. Oh, Scott, DJ Vinyl Vertigo. I've got his name here. And Carl Tweed. God, how many people is that? I've mentioned David Ellis as well. God, I'd be pissed off if I've... Oh, Darren in the studio. Yeah, I love Darren as well. I think he's from Leicestershire. That's enough. That's enough. It's crazy that I've gone through that. And there's people that I've not even mentioned there, I'm sure. So yeah, if I carry on at this rate, when I get to sort of 300 videos, I won't do that again. That's like a one-off. But I just want to thank everyone for supporting my channel and commenting and doing all that stuff. So thanks for watching. If you've got any comments about my 12 inches, if you want to do response and social 12 inches, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.